This is Good Morning Transfers, and this is your transfer update. Don't forget, you can keep across all the latest information as it happens on our dedicated Transfer Centre blog. Just scan the QR code on the screen. It'll take you to where you need to go.
Many questions on Lewis Hall and Manchester United. I already told you this, I think it was June, and I stand by my information. Man United really appreciate Lewis Hall. Man United consider Lewis Hall as an ideal player they would like to add to their squad. So Lewis Hall is in Manchester United list for sure, and is a player internally approved at Manchester United. But my understanding is that Newcastle...
There are suggestions as to whether they will go for another midfielder. I think they would like to, but it will be very much dependent on how the market develops. I don't think we'll see another 60, 70 million pound signing in the midfield. I think it'll be a lot lower than that. But I also think Manchester United will also look at left back. We reported last week that they have explored the conditions of a deal for Lewis Hall at Newcastle. He is someone we reported in March that they were very high on. And the reason being that Luke Shaw only has 12 months left on his contract. Patrick Dorgu is an interesting one because he's between being a left back and a left winger. And they only have Diogo Dalot, Nousa Mazraoui, who can play left back, but it's not their preferred position. They need a long-term solution at left back, and that could be Lewis Hall, but I think that's something that we might see develop over the next few weeks.
Okay.
The big ownership talks at Manchester United today. These are brand new pictures of the Qatari delegation arriving at Carrington.
Well, that's why. That's why. Because it's during the game.
Attributes that Dorgu possesses in terms of that athleticism and that physicality, and he's 6'1". It's very important to have somebody who's got a big engine who can do both facets of the game at a high intensity. Manchester United do not have enough players who can play at high intensity for the duration of games. So I think it's a good place. Manchester United need to be shopping around for those types of players with potential. They're not in a position to be bringing in world-class stars right now. Manchester United are 13th in the Premier League. So definitely the type of profile, and I think one that Manchester United fans could look at and say, okay, I can see why they're going after that player, but can't get too excited, Matt. Yeah. Got to relax.
Okay.
It's a difficult situation. I think unfortunately there are some certain realities within the game, within the Premier League, and I think it was just within football. I think when Newcastle have pushed since the takeover, they've done all these great things, absolutely, and they've been in the Champions League. But the 1 year you're not in the Champions League, a lot of players don't have patience, and they've had some PSR issues, they've had some financial issues, where they're also not a club that can just spend and spend and spend and spend. So you have to balance the books, and maybe this is a case of balancing the books by having to sell some of these players and reinvest in some other assets, make some money, make some profit, and then look again to the future and kick on again. So it's a very difficult situation for them. I think ultimately if the likes of Bruno Guimaraes wants to leave and thinks he's achieved everything he can with Newcastle and got that trophy, been in the Champions League, and it's time to move on.